Welcome to Magnetic Woman channel. In this video, you're going to learn 7 habits that are going to make you even more magnetic so that you could attract and keep the love that you want and desire this year. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, write to me in the comments, please, what it is that you are already doing to be more magnetic. And if you have any questions about what feminine magnetism is. Meanwhile, subscribe to Magnetic Woman channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the bell to make sure that you're getting notifications about all the useful videos that come out every week to make sure that you're going to be in the relationship of your dreams this year. Magnetic Woman habit number 1. Talk to yourself in the most loving way. I know that most women are really giving and nurturing, and often this nurture only spreads to the rest of the world. Well, I'm here to remind you that love for the world includes love for yourself, because you are a part of the world as well. It also includes love towards different parts of your personality. To your inner feminine, to your inner lover, to your inner organizer, and even love to your inner critic. It definitely includes love to every part of your body. Especially, it includes love to the parts of your body that you've been ignoring, that you've been ashamed of, or that you've been hiding. So I'm going to give you an example how something like this is possible. When I'm falling asleep, I'm looking back at the day that I spent helping people, making sure that all my clients are on track, that they're happy, that they're meeting high quality men, that they are involved in empowered communications, empowered relationships. And as I fall asleep, I put my own hand on my face and I say, Luba, you did such a great thing today. You are so wonderful. You are such a treasure. I love you so much. And I'm so looking forward to spending this night with you and going deeply into your dreams, into your subconscious mind. Okay? Sometimes after a workout that I do with our personal trainer, who also is a trainer for my Magnetic Woman program, and she leads Magnetic Woman Yoga for women on Zoom in a video conference. So after a workout that I do, I also hug myself and I say to myself, Luba, I am so grateful to you that in spite of your busy schedule and in spite of everything else that you're doing, that you found time and that you put in effort. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, this body, for serving me in such a beautiful way. My legs are still working. They help me move around. My belly is so precious, even if it is not perfect, but it digests food for me. It nourishes me. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel centered. And thank you so much. My eyes, they're so beautiful and they can be so deep. And I just love those lashes. And maybe they're not as long as they used to be, but they're still very precious. And look at this heart. This is what I'm the most grateful for. I am so grateful for this heart because it is gigantic and it is warm and it is comforting and it has feelings and it has desires. And so just talking to yourself in that way, in this positive self-talk, loving self-talk, that is definitely something that increases your oxytocin. And when your oxytocin is this love hormone, when it is increased, everyone can smell it. Everyone wants to touch you. Everyone wants to come close to that oxytocin. Everyone wants a part of that love that you're experiencing towards yourself and towards your body. So that is Magnetic Woman habit number 1. Number 2, this is very unusual. This is something that is easy to implement and is going to make a gigantic difference. And that is about surrounding yourself with magnetic, magical objects. And those objects can be some kind of earrings that you really, really love so much. Like I love these earrings so much that I lost so many of them, and I keep buying the same kind of earrings at Etsy because I just love them and they make me feel magnetic. It could be a hat, it could be some other accessory that it just makes you feel so juicy, so tasty. It makes your environment feel magical, and it's almost like your signature object. For example, your car. Your car does not have to be clinically clean and sterile like a room in a hospital. It can actually be a sanctuary for you. You can bring in some objects that remind you of your power, that remind you of your love, of your greatness, and some objects that maybe even transport you into some places that you're connected with. For example, these earrings, they're Moroccan. So somehow my soul feels this association with that culture. I also dance, I dance belly dance. And so if I put in an object of this kind into my car, it gives me some personal power. It makes me more magnetic. I know that my environment is magical. I know that my environment is just so different, so personal. And this way, my body, my energy body becomes bigger. The same way we can use magical objects and magnetic objects of course, in our office, even at work, and not to mention the clothing that you are choosing for yourself. Everything that you're choosing for yourself should be making you feel special. And the most importantly, it should make you feel at home. So when you're using magnetic objects in your different environments, like your office or your car, that makes you feel at home. And how do you feel at home? Relaxed and charged and powerful. So magnetic objects is something that you should definitely look into. I always have a special sticker on my laptop. And sometimes it's a goddess temple. Sometimes it's just some landscape that I love and that gives me energy. Every time that we look at an object of beauty, that gives us more energy. Especially when we look at objects that somebody took time and put in their talent, put in their energy into that piece of art, into that landscape, into that photograph. And so when we surround ourselves with that, especially when we turn objects which are kind of generic, like a laptop, into something of our own and put our own sticker on it. And I have a place on the internet where I order those stickers. So when I'm in any place and I take out my laptop and it has this magical sticker, everyone is looking at it, everyone wants to talk about it. And of course, that is the way how I am distributing and showing off my personal high-value brand. The third habit of magnetic women, and the habit that is definitely going to make you more magnetic, is conscious eating. And what does it mean? Again, it is connected with your love towards yourself and your body. So when we're eating consciously, just like when we're doing anything consciously, we know why we're doing it, and we know the consequences of what we're doing, and we're making a free choice. So instead of being like a robot or like a program, and for example, just being drawn towards something, towards some food, and just consuming it just unconsciously, just because maybe you felt a little bit bad and you needed some comfort, and so you ate something that wasn't that great for you. So instead of that, being very, very conscious about everything, all the food that's coming your way. And by the way, that does not only include physical food. It may also include spiritual food. It can include intellectual food. So being very particular about what it is that you're allowing into your system. Because of the famous saying, garbage in, garbage out. If you're consuming garbage, if you're consuming food, for example, that is bad for you, that's going to make you feel bloated, that's definitely not going to rejuvenate you, that's only going to give you comfort in the moment. Every time you're consuming something like this, later on it starts to show up in your field. It weakens your magnetic field. And when you're choosing things which are good for you, like juices, like organic vegetables, fruit with fiber, like and if you're eating meat or chicken or fish, making sure that it is super organic, very clean, that it looks good, and that it was made by people who have love in their heart. This is the only food that you should be consuming. Now, talking about the spiritual and intellectual food, the same thing. When you are letting in garbage into your system, like possibly some soap operas where all the people are arguing or people are playing out their misery stories, when you are exposing yourself to that kind of input, that definitely also shows in your radiance. In other words, it kills your radiance. So being conscious in terms of your consumption on every level, including your friends, who you're friends with, whose ideology, whose way of thinking are you allowing into yourself, into your system? That is incredibly important. So conscious eating, conscious consumption is definitely a very important habit of magnetic women. Number 4, I'm sure that like many women, you had moments in your life when you are opening your closet and, oh my God, there is nothing to wear. Pretty much every woman sometimes, at least once in her life, and sometimes every day, goes through this kind of realization or process. So why is it possible? Why is it happening like this? You're going out, you're shopping for clothing, and all of a sudden you end up with a bunch of things which are not really making you happy in the moment. Well, first of all, it's because you're not yet fully in love with your body. And second of all, it's because maybe you're choosing that clothing based on some kind of mental idea that this is something that could potentially be good, but your soul is not participating in it. So when you only buy things, especially dresses or clothing, that your soul really rejoices from, then that's when you end up with this terrible closet situation. So make sure that in your closet, just like in the closet of your psyche, there is a collection of treasures. And every piece is something that makes you feel desirable, makes you feel possibly courageous, makes you feel confident. And so when you're buying something for yourself, make sure that this next piece of clothing is going to be your friend. A magnetic woman, when she opens her closet, she rejoices because she doesn't even know what to choose. Everything is looking so good. And each one of those friends, those dresses or those outfits in your closet should have some kind of a magical magnetic object, magnetic accessory that goes with it, whether it is a belt, earrings, or whether it is a hat, or whether it's a special purse that really projects your personal high value brand. So the next habit of magnetic women is getting rid of things which you do not love. So again, we can start with the closet, and you can go into your closet. You can do it today. I invite you to do it right now, maybe even while you're watching this video. And just look at things that definitely do not bring you joy. Whether it is a friend, or it is a piece of clothing, or it is a dish in your cupboard, or it is some kind of a book or a journal, whatever it is not bringing you joy. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And don't ever look back. So your goal is to be surrounded by objects, surrounded by songs, surrounded by flowers, surrounded by people who give you joy. And when there are people or objects or whatever it is in your environment which is making you feel less than you are, that means they're occupying somebody else's space. So as you get rid of them, do not worry. You're not going to end up alone in emptiness. The vacuum is going to be filled with joy. It's going to be filled with new things that you're going to invite into your life. So getting rid of things that you don't love is very, very, very important. Magnetic Woman habit number 6, making the mirror your ally, your best friend. Coming up to the mirror as if you are coming to a date with the most exciting person. And hey, that person is you. So really even looking forward to come up to that mirror. And guess what? Instead of concentrating on something that is imperfect on your face, some little pimple or something that you think is not according to God knows what kind of standards, but instead really looking forward to come to look into the mirror and to look deeply into your own eyes. This is very, very powerful and very loving. To look deeply into your eyes, to allow that moment of intimacy with yourself. Because if you want intimacy with another person, if you want to be in intimate connection with a man, at first you have to come into deep intimacy and love with yourself. So that moment in front of the mirror is a very precious moment when you're just really allowing yourself to see your own eyes and to see your own soul very, very deeply. And what you might see there could really surprise you. Sometimes you might see a longing. Sometimes you will see sadness, and that's okay too. Sometimes you're going to see mischief. Sometimes maybe you are even going to go deeper into your origin and into the origin of your soul. And sometimes you would be able to possibly even see your past lives if you believe in such a thing, just by relaxing your eyesight and gazing into your own self, into your own eyes, which are the window to your soul. The last Magnetic Woman habit that I'm going to share with you today is dedicating one day a week purely to things which make your soul rejoice. And again, I am not talking here about things which have to be done. Those are not the things on your to-do list. In fact, that one day in your week should not have any of those items on your to-do list. That should be a day when you're doing things which make your soul sing, which elevate you, which remind you of your higher purpose, which remind you of your original dream, the original dream of your childhood. And so that day, you can spend it by yourself, or you can invite some wonderful people to share parts of the day with you. But what's important is that you will connect to your own pleasure during that day. And for some, that pleasure could be getting a massage. For others, it could be just spending some deep, insightful, maybe reflective time on the shore of an ocean or another body of water. For others, it could be possibly dancing or singing or writing a poem or just walking into the forest. So whatever that is a day of communion with your feminine soul. And our feminine requires a lot of attention. It requires so much nurture. It requires love and understanding. And when you take your feminine and you make a working horse out of it, yeah, maybe you get more things done. Maybe not, by the way. But what definitely happens is your feminine gets depleted. Your magnetism goes down. You're too rigid. You are too married to what it is that you are supposed to be producing. So what it is costing you is really love. And often it is also costing you the fact that you are unable to attract wonderful, giving, high-quality men just because you yourself are not leading with love towards your own feminine. Because how can you expect somebody else, some guy, for example, to all of a sudden fall in love with your feminine if you are not in love with it. And if you are in love with it, show it love in all the love languages that you know. Speak to it with love. Caress it with your hands. Put on magnetic clothing that you love. Bring in that wonderful, nourishing, healthy food. Surround yourself with wonderful people who are full of joy, who are supporting you. And finally, wink at yourself in the mirror just to make sure that that pact that you have with your inner woman, with your inner lover, that pact that you have with love itself is continuous, that you are in conspiracy with your own feminine, with your own goddess. And that is a wonderful environment for your magnetism to thrive. The more of that you do, the stronger your feminine magnetism is going to be. And what that means is that you're going to have more and more choice of men who could be your potential partners. And that also means that you're going to make those choices not out of fear, but out of love for yourself, making right kind of choices this time, making choices that are going to provide a happy life for you, making choices that are going to make sure that the man that you're magnetizing is the kind of man who is going to make you happy long term. And so for this, to fall in love with yourself, to heal your feminine, to unleash your feminine magnetism fully, so that this year not only you would be the happiest and the most beautiful, the best version of yourself, but also so that you could really call in your soulmate and enjoy a relationship with a high quality, giving man, going from hopelessness, frustration, into a relationship with deep emotional intimacy, true magnetic chemistry, and most importantly, unconditional love, I invite you to watch my masterclass. In my masterclass, you're going to learn if your love blueprint needs to be healed. When you watch my masterclass, you're going to understand if your relationship with yourself or with your feminine right now is standing between you and finding that wonderful, loving, high quality, giving partner that you so deserve. So watch the masterclass to the end. And if you do resonate, which I'm sure you will, fill out an application for a private session, breakthrough session with me. And I'm going to help you figure out what is not working yet and why. And most importantly, what to do about it. As you may know, I have a program which is called Magnetic Woman Program. It is an online program which helps women find their partners. I hope to hear from you and put the comments under this video telling me which one of the tips that I gave today you find the most useful, what you're going to try, and of course, if you have any challenges with anything, put that in the comments and I'm going to reply to everyone. Sending you so much love, gorgeous, beautiful woman. I'm wishing for you to find your soulmate this year. I'm wishing for you to be in love, first of all, with yourself, and second of all, with the man of your choice.